There is a time in every man's life that no matter how devout he is, how strong his belief in God and God's sovereignty over the universe, he sees something so horrible, so insane, so irrational, so bizarre that he can't reconcile it with his worldview. He says, how can a rational God have created a universe like this? It's like when the characters in Lovecraft see Yog Shoggoth or Azazoth or Nyarlathotep or whoever, they see them and they go, God can't exist because this is real. And I had that feeling a couple minutes ago when I watched this, and I had heard about this in the past. I thought it was a joke. I didn't think it was real. I thought it was, if nothing else, it was a parody, but it's not. It's a serious. Well, it's a comedy, but it's not a parody. It's a serious show. And I just look at this and I watched it and I'm like, what am I even watching? What is real? Do I exist? Am I living in an Isekai world? Did I reincarnate as an Espeon? These are all like deep questions that I thought about when I was watching this. So I've seen a lot of bad Isekai. I've seen a lot of weird stuff. I've seen a lot of weird Isekai. Most of it is horrible. A lot of the really bad stuff I just don't watch because I don't watch stuff that's harem. But I thought I'd seen like the bottom of the barrel. But this came along and they're like, well, we have nothing left. Okay, so we had reincarnated as slime, which was okay. Reincarnated as a sword, which I actually kind of liked. And it's like, okay, so we have things that kind of make sense, like being reincarnated as a monster in a video game, or like a weapon in a video game. So let's just go for broke and have him reincarnated as a fucking vending machine. Like, how did they come up with this? Like, were they just like, okay, I want to be a light novel writer. Isekai is hot. Like, they just went through like a list of inanimate objects. And they're like, you know what? We haven't done a vending machine yet. Let's do a fucking vending machine. And somebody thought that this was a good idea. And this is successful. It was successful enough that it got a fucking anime. And I'm just sitting here questioning like what even reality is. Like, when I evolved from an Eevee, did my change from a normal to a psychic typing just give me like a view into worlds beyond, into the Matrix, something like that? I mean, this is causing me like, well, the last anime that made me doubt God's existence was probably Rent a Girlfriend. So I couldn't believe that I lived in a world, that I lived in a society that would produce something like that. The last one that made me this existentially distressed was Pokemon Arceus, because I didn't know like if you could put God in a Pokeball, and like the conclusion seems to be you can put God in a Pokeball, but if the universe is contingent on God, does it still exist if he's in a Pokeball? And these are the questions that I think we need to be having as a society. But yeah, Reborn as a vending machine, I Now Wander a Dungeon exists. And it's not as far as I can determine, it's not a parody. It's like a serious isekai. So let's like try to even just fucking like, what is this? So the first episode came out. I was actually kind of excited. So I'm like, this is going to be so bad. It's going to be awesome. This is going to be like Isekai Cheat Magician. This is going to be like From Commonplace to World's Strongest. This is just going to be a shit show. And then I watched it and I'm like they actually tried with this. And that makes it a lot weirder. And that ironically makes it a lot worse. So the main character whose name we never know is a vending machine otaku. Apparently that's a thing in Japan. I think vending machines in Japan are more interesting than they are in North America. They have like games in them and prizes and stuff like that. There's also just a lot more stuff available in vending machines in Japan. Whereas here you're lucky if you find one that has anything other than just basic soda. But yeah, he's an expert who's obsessed with vending machines. And he's driving his motorcycle behind a truck and a vending machine falls and hits him. And so he's reincarnated in the new world as a vending machine. And he starts off with some like basic items inside of his vending machine. You have like bottled water, you have corn soup, you have ramen, milk tea, stuff like that. And he starts off with, I think it was 1,000 or 900 points or something. And it's like a full-fledged RPG. Like, he can spend points to change the stock he has on sale. He can change the prices of the items that are on sale. He can like add like a coin converter because his machine only works with yen to start off with. It doesn't work with like fantasy money. Um, he gets like a force field at one point. He like runs on points, so if he doesn't sell anything for a certain amount of time, he starts losing points and he can eventually die because sales are too low. And like he reincarnates in the middle of nowhere, and then some like busty strong girl who I guess is his love interest or something picks him up and takes him into town. And all the people there have never had like vending machine food or fast food or something, and they're all like obsessed with it, and they're all like, this is the best food ever. And they're all drinking like corn soup, and they're spending their life savings on this vending machine. And it's just all played completely straight. Like, it's not a joke, it's not a parody. It's they actually literally took the idea of a dude reincarnated as a vending machine and just went with it. Like look at some of this. Look at some of it. So that's his the GF or whatever who finds him. We have what else do we have? Yeah, we got the girl buying stuff from him. We've got, of course, some fan service with the boobs on the vending machine. Got that. Got her carrying the vending machine. Reborn is a vending machine. Like, what do you even say to something? We live in a society. We live in a society where this is real. Where somebody like sat down and thought that this was a good idea. Make a fucking vending machine. Like, what do I even say to something like, how do I make fun of this? Like, I don't know. All I can say is I hope drugs were involved with the creation of this. Like, I could see somebody coming up with this, like, as a joke, to just say we're gonna take, like, the last Isekai, like, the most absurd random Isekai thing possible to have someone reincarnated as, and make a show about it. But not to make a serious show, and this is a serious show, so I don't know, guys. I just starting to wonder: does God really exist? If can he exist in a universe that created this? Like, maybe this is the fall. Maybe this was like this is the ultimate result of the sin of Adam. Is that the apple that Eve ate? She got from a vending machine. That's my theory now. That's the theology of this. Is that the apple that Eve ate was from this vending machine. It wasn't actually from a tree. Gonna have to think on that one. Fuck me. Talk to you guys later.